So episode 12, we just saw it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
What are your thoughts on this? Because I'm pretty much...
This episode had two plots that really wanted to be in the episode.
Yeah.
And instead of telling one of them no, they made a compromise. Alright, we'll give you 5 minutes.
I'm not exactly sure what the... because this seemed to be a mistake of trying to marry Sentai footage with a plot that has nothing to do with it. Because, I mean...
The caveman thing?
The focus is just off.
The focus is off,
episode.
Ironically.
Okay, so this is Catching Some Rays. Episode
Is
12.
that what that's called?
Yeah.
Catching Some Rays? Alright.
This was...
Episode 12.
Yeah.
Remember how good episode 11 was?
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that. We're gonna go...
Well,
we're gonna go
I had hope for this only for one reason. Because you remember the episode that followed episode 11 Breakout last season?
No.
How it was like Sir Ivan's going to go search for knights to be part of his own band, the Knights of Amber Beach. Remember how ridiculous that was?
Yeah.
And how great that episode turned out to be?
His conviction.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I had hoped for this episode. But really, from the first couple of moments, the writing is kind of on the wall with how bad this is going to be.
Yeah.
Like with the whole cutting in the middle of a scene thing. Wow.
Sorry.
Just ruined my whole thought process.
Sorry. I fixed it. Go ahead.
Just cutting in the middle of the scene, the intro scene, just for the intro itself. And,
oh, yeah. That really made no sense. I was super confused. I was like, I don't think we delved into what this episode's about yet.
Yeah, well... It seems a little bit unsure as to... Well, I disagree with that. It knows what it wants to be about.
The most we get of the story is, did you find the Silver Ranger? No.
Well, that's the overall plot. Yeah. What I had a couple of questions about that.
I did
as
really
far as
like the opening sequence, though.
The thing with them being like, you could take the Plesiosaur and go help him. And she'd be like... interstellar communication is very difficult, and I was like, how do you know?
Yeah. How does she know anything?
Did Keeper tell you that?
I'm sure I could fix that.
You're not. I'm sure he could. He's talked to you about the alien technology and magic wizard stuff.
Wizard magics?
He's not. Well,
he's not doing. No,
I guess he's chilling in the cave.
Yeah,
working
on that one spell to remove water from a lake.
Yeah.
God.
But then. And that kind of bounced back because what happens in this episode is that they go to a cave because Kendall's grandmother has brought...
we have officially gotten every Ranger's family in on this show.
I disagree with
Except for Ivan.
Yeah.
And Philip. But they're kind of their own...
Oh, yeah. They're kind of their own...
Yeah. Knit. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cut from the same
my
cloth.
prince and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Oh, that's awesome. I really want an episode to focus on Prince Philip. Damn it.
Yeah.
But
I was really sad in episode 12.
Oh, yeah?
But I really liked the opening sequence, and here's why. It showed everybody doing, like, their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, Jason and Ivan are talking with Miss Morgan, and Coda and Tyler are in the kitchen, and Shelby's working the counter. And we get scenes of them just doing that.
Yeah.
We need more of that in the show instead of, all right, everybody stand in the same shot. You two talk.
Yeah. And this was kind of a little bit better than that. So Kendall's grandmother brings a lens that she found in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, spelunking, as most grandmothers do.
And Kendall's like, oh my god, you're amazing. And whatever, and then Kendall or Coda's like, I recognize this. We should go to that place thing, and they find his cave.
His cave.
When I saw this, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be just like Return of the Caveman.
And I was like,
this is gonna be really super sad, you know?
Yes.
Like
he's gonna come across Tagu's corpse.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought that's what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I was so
like all these people that you outlived for thousands of years just by being frozen, and then him and Sir Ivan could be together, and it would be super just men out of time, you know.
We don't ever focus on.
We could actually go somewhere with that concept, This is not what happens.
Nope.
They instead find cave paintings of something hidden in the cave that Koda's grandfather was somehow able to capture. I'm not sure exactly how any of that works.
Yeah.
Then they decide that they're going to break the rules and go to the part of the cave with the thing in it and release it.
Yeah.
And I'm taking your joke. That's too fantastic for me not to use. I know the other clip that I want to use, but that joke that you said is way too fantastic.
I do know what other clip you're gonna use.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's too good, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's so weird though. Like,
yeah, I know.
None of what they say makes any fucking sense.
So then
dude.
the monster comes out, and it's monster from
the before time
Sledge's ship that whenever the
Which Ice Age is the only one of those we've come across. The only wild monsters.
I don't think he's wild because he was on the ship. So I mean,
Ice Age,
and that was before. Well, no, that was after. He was on the ship after, but he was that was before we found out that Sledge had returned and whatever. But I agree with you that it's kind of like a wild monster thing. I don't know if Ice Age was necessarily that, but this is what this monster is. Yeah. Leisure is what they call her.
Leisure and Loafer.
And her twin brother Loafer. Damn it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be difficult.
Don't do it.
It's gonna be difficult not to do. And then she jumps into the air and does a vacation beam. And only Koda and Kendall are able to hide from it.
Is this a Sentai plot?
I'm guaranteed this is a Sentai plot.
Okay, because it doesn't make any sense.
The Rangers are hit by this ray of sunshine and they don't care about anything. They're on vacation, they're having fun and whatever.
I am so not into...
They try to make this as legitimate as possible.
It doesn't work.
With Koda's like, oh no, they're going to starve because that's what happened to my people. And I just remembered all this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're like, my memory fuzzy. And then he's all like 2 minutes later, I remember everything!
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's so dumb.
And so they go back in there and they're like...
And it still doesn't make any sense. Because when the Rangers get affected by the vacation beam, they don't get lazy. That's not what the beam is doing to them at all.
Yeah.
If anything, they have more energy.
That's a good point, yeah. Because then...
they're like mountain biking
and Curio try to go down there and be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take their energems while they're on vacation."
Yeah,
Heckle comes up with a plan that's like, "Oh, since the monsters aren't affected, we're gonna take their energems while they're on vacation."
Yeah,
and so then they go out there. He
sends Fury and Wretch. No,
he just sends Fury and the twin brother Loafer. And they go down, and Poisandra and Curio try to take the energems, and they end up just exhausted because the Rangers want to do all these cool things.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Vacation time and whatever. It's
so
rad.
Confused. Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense now that I think about it.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that? I blanked.
And then
Koda and Kendall get back to the lab.
Yeah, they have to walk back to the lab. They had to walk over there.
Yeah.
And find the lens, which they didn't bring with them for some reason.
Well, why would they?
Well, Koda's like, I recognize this. Take me to this place. I imagine they're like gonna walk up to just hold it up at one hill,
like the freaking Ark of the Covenant. Like,
I was thinking like
the Lost Ark, where he's just doing the thing with the map. And
I was specifically thinking of the moon runes from Lord of the Rings, but it's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing.
But it's the same. Yeah. So they go off and they decide that they're going to try to figure out how the grandfather stopped this monster this one time, and they build this apparatus.
Because one guy did it.
Yeah, I don't know how.
He was like, I'm going to make glass.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he just found that thing and was like, aha, it reflects light.
But it needs to... Anyway.
Reflect light. Yeah. No. And then... they build this apparatus, but it doesn't work, and then Kendall's like, oh my god, Grandma can help us
for some reason.
Yeah. And then
Grandma knows how to fix things.
She goes over there and she's like, I need your help, Grandma. And then they have this moment that comes right out of left field.
Yeah, we hadn't focused on it at all. Like, if this is what you wanted to do, I mean, we needed, like, a scene. And it didn't even have to be, like, it could explain why she's working at the cafe.
Yeah.
Have Coda and Kendall come up and, you know, they're in a rush to get back to the lab, and so she, like, brushes her off or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, the focus is just super off on this one.
Yeah.
Very, very, very bad.
And after that weirdness happens,
they make the beam and
they
Kendall's
cure everybody who were in the cafe, who immediately leave and go back outside and get affected again.
I love that, man. That's the one question I was like, are they going? They're leaving. That means they're going outside.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's gonna happen again.
And then, so Kendall decides she's gonna take the plesiosaur into space with the lens and be like, aha, cleanse the Earth.
Yep.
And Coda, meanwhile, goes off to go find the other Rangers to make sure that they don't get tricked into handing over their energems and whatever.
And gets just
he runs into Loafer and Fury,
like the shoe.
I know,
Loafer.
I'm sorry, it's terrible.
Don't say Lothor to me.
Trigger. And then it's he tries to fight him, and they do morph. Been a while since we saw a single morph.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that one out there. It's just an oddity to see that. He gets his ass kicked hard, man. He's just beating the hell out of him, and I'm just sitting there going, man,
it's harsh. It's hard to watch.
He's like no match for these guys.
Nope.
And then the other Rangers show up, and they're like, Dino Supercharge vacation. They morph while running, and then they run right past him and do hula dances. And that's the part where I was like, this is a Sentai plot, isn't it?
It made way more sense in the Sentai.
And then Kendall destroys the monster in space, and it's pretty.
Our only Megazord fight.
It's pretty cool to see her take on a monster by herself.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. With as much as she's not doing anything, they've really been trying to utilize her as much as possible.
Yeah.
What I would have loved to have happened in this episode, especially if when Coda's like, I need help. That just Prince Philip and James came out of nowhere as full Ranger morph, and it would have been freaking awesome.
James is gone doing stuff.
Or at least Prince Philip talking about, I'm here for you, Coda, and then we can build on that relationship, that we had.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I would wish would have happened, because it would have been so cool. We would have again utilized the idea of biggest Ranger team ever.
Yeah. My God.
Anyway. Yeah. And
sorry,
then, so they destroys the monster, somehow feels the need to still use the beam to spray the sunlight.
Yeah.
Even though the monster's destroyed, and as per Power Rangers logic, that whole thing shouldn't work anyway.
Yeah.
But so they're all cured, and then they destroy Loafer, and it's fun times. And then Curio and Poisandra are like, their vacation made them stronger. And then they decide that they're gonna go and have vacation, but then Heckle's like, no, you're gonna clean the ship because you failed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send Vivix to Hawaii. and then back in the cave, Coda's like, grandfather, I know that you made these rules, but we should always follow rules, as if this is what the episode was about this whole time.
Yep.
And I just...
The focus is all over the map.
Yeah, the focus is all over the map. I almost gave this episode a pass, because if it just went full absurd, because it only goes halfway because it actually tries to be about something. If it just went full absurd, I would have loved this. Just as a fun, little half-hour cartoon, live action cartoon that it tries to be. But the problem is that it tries to be about a message, and it does not focus on that at all or nearly enough. So those are my thoughts on it. Your thoughts?
No, that's pretty well spoken for me. I'm so tired of Power Rangers plots putting the Rangers in absolutely no danger. I'm so sick of it.
Like what?
Like this. Like, they were in no immediate danger.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, their lives are not at risk.
That's right. Their lives aren't at risk. We tried to do that, with the friendship snip and the lose the ball.
That wasn't. They weren't in mortal danger either.
Oh yeah, that's true. They weren't in mortal danger. What about in the finale when he's like, the beam's gonna destroy the Megazord, and it was super cool.
Yeah, we need more of that.
But
I was actually thinking of the finale being the last time that they actually had like a danger.
Danger, Will Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are my final thoughts. Anything you want to add?
This show's getting better. I don't actually know if it's getting better. The last episode was pretty good.
Yeah, it was very good. And then we went to this episode, and again, it's not. This is two plots. This is not the worst thing that I've seen.
Not from this show.
But I really couldn't give this one a pass as far as being, because the focus is just terrible.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
That's a very glaring issue that this episode presents. So I can't ignore it. I have to bring it up, and the fact that no.
Yeah.
This is our first bad episode since we've come back.
No.
I mean, 9 and 10 were kind of skirting on that line.
9 was on there.
9 was... it's not there. I mean, it's a filler episode, isn't it? It's not important.
Well, so is this.
Granted, at the end of this episode, Kendall is like, yeah, we've maintained contact with the Silver Ranger. And my first thought was, how?
Yeah, you guys were busy doing other shit, like, all day.
And then all of a sudden, other plot happens, and yeah.
Yeah, they're like, the Silver Ranger's like, the Dark Energem. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Are we just going to have... Because we've got the black one. What is it going to be?
I don't... Well, I'm assuming that they're going to do the Talon Ranger bit with the Dark Energem.
What is that?
The Talon Ranger. Did you remember that reaction video I did?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Which is a plot that I did not think that they were going to pull off. Do you think Heckle's going to be the Talon Ranger?
I'm still not convinced that the Silver Ranger exists.
Yeah, me neither. Especially when he's like, I need all your Megazord data.
Yeah.
Something about that seems a little...
Just a little iffy.
Yeah. It's very bad. It's very...
Don't trust people, kids.
Have an unhealthy distrust of... I don't trust Steven Universe anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I told Emilio this because he was like, I really like the direction the show was going. I was like, I can't have fun with this. Every time I watch this episode, I'm like, oh God, something terrible is about to happen.
Yep. Oh, what are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do to me, future? Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that real quick, or do you want to save that for another time?
We should save that for a little while.
All right, then. Well, then, this has been the fully Dino Charge focused Power Chamber podcast.
I'm Ice Chip Andy.
And I'm Nick, a.k.a. Iron Bat 1993. Reminding you...
That's not the right one. Wow, you screwed it up.
I know.
This is the full Dino Charge PCP. And you screwed up the outro.
I don't even know how I did that.
Oh my God.
Let me do it again.
The moment has passed.
May the Power Chamber protect you.
There you go. God.